back to Nashville Unsigned. We are hanging out on the infamous red couch with the lovely country duo, The Dries.
Howdy.
Welcome. Oh, perfect. That was perfect.
He always says stuff like that.
That played right into the whole like intro moment. Thank you. Thank you for playing into that.
Sure.
So give us your guys' first names.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Derek.
Derek. So you guys are The Dries.
Yep.
And we always are going through like top talent going on in Nashville. That's independent, and we caught wind of you guys through a pretty awesome Rolling Stones write-up.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
So tell us
That's
a little
awesome.
bit about that. Tell us also how you got to Nashville and when.
Sure. Well, we just released music back in the end of May, so last couple months have been kind of a ride, especially with the press like that we've been getting. So our PR friend, Mike Goen, has been on the ball. And
Way to go, Mike. Shout out.
Yeah, he's
Keep doing what you're doing.
He's out in LA, and he's just been a good friend, first of all, who just
cool.
kind of wanted to help us out. So we've
Awesome.
been going with
We've been
that,
in Nashville for 4 years, and through that whole time we've been writing just a ton. And when it was time to like release music, we released Amen as our first single, and you know Mike sent it to some places, and he told us, he was like, you know, we're gonna send it to Rolling Stone. You might not even get a reply back. Don't even like flinch it. Like, don't worry. But it came out, and then we were doing sound check for one of our shows in North Carolina, a hometown show. And Mike called us and said, "Hey, I've got a gift for you guys." And we were kind of like, he doesn't really say that often, but he like screenshotted us the top 10 best country songs of the week, and I like flipped out, and we were just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So it was really cool, and he called us and was like, you know, this is why I love doing what I do, and because this kind of stuff happens like rarely when you're not signed.
And
So
that was
it
right
really
before
cool.
we went on stage, so we got to announce it at our hometown show.
I was going to say, like, the
all our family was there.
Yeah.
of that
It was great.
specific performance is unlike like other
Yeah, it
ones,
was
just
pretty
because
cool.
It's unreal.
the
so.
information. So
Yeah.
I've sat with this album, and
Have you?
I
Thanks.
love it. I love it. We actually created a Class 11 playlist for Nashville Unsigned.
Oh, cool.
And we put Amen on there and another song called Simple Truth.
Yeah.
Which
That's my favorite.
I just found out right before we sat down that you co-wrote with Class 5 alumni Ren.
Yeah, we love Ren.
Ren Anderson.
He's got a
Yeah.
golden pen.
He's
does.
awesome. He's great
got-
with lyrics.
Though I keep you close to mind, you're something I could never use. My dear, you're just like my shampoo.
So you guys are from North Carolina, right?
Both of us.
What
Yep.
part?
Right in the middle. I'm from Thomasville, small
It's
town.
like in the middle. It's like it's in the middle of nowhere.
She's from Winston-Salem.
So okay, awesome. So this recent album is titled Volume 1. So how many volumes are we going to get into?
We're going to do 2 for
20.
now.
I'm just
I know. I was like, yes, get him up there.
We're working on releasing the second one. Can't tell you exactly when yet,
That's
but
okay.
I do know that we're going to release one single from that other 4-song EP in September 21st.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So
Tons
yeah.
of music. Back
So
to
we're kind
back.
of going with the flow as we go. When you're doing it on your own, you're kind of like, okay, what works, what doesn't. So that's kind of
just
like
learn
just
along
feeling
the
it
way.
out. Yep.
Exactly, exactly. So we're going to shift gears a little bit.
Okay.
You guys just hit us with something that's unique or weird or random about yourself.
I don't know if you'd say it's weird, but I got into rock climbing recently, so
That's
it's like my new
cool.
hobby. It's how I clear my head, and it's what I do a few times a week to just to.
That's aw.
He's funny.
That's cool.
He's like,
though.
it's so weird. I love to
Hey, if
weird.
ever you were in a
Weird.
situation where he has to pull you up a big, huge rock and save your
Yeah,
life,
you know.
like
Just in case.
these skills are going to come in handy. So kudos.
Thanks.
And for you,
Mine
Thinking
is
ahead.
like a lot of people honestly would not think this about me, but I used to love like screamo music. I went to a ton of like Under Oath concerts, and once I got in a mosh pit. Like no joke, I actually got scratched
were
really
you
bad.
damaged?
Yes, I got
Were
scratched.
you emotionally or physically or
No,
both?
just physically. Like I was
Okay.
like, I'm gonna do this, and my friends were like, you probably shouldn't. And I was like, I just want to go down there. And then I was like, oh my gosh, like I hope I don't get trampled and die.
So, independent artists, we hear all the time. We get phone calls. We're like a support system in these times, but there's always a time. There's always a lot of times where you feel like you're going to give up. Tell us about a time that you felt like that you were going to give up, and then how did you guys overcome that?
I feel like there's a lot of times where you feel like that. It's not just like one time. Because, you know, doing everything. You're figuring out what works well, like social media, all the emails, like shows, booking your own things. And there's a lot of times where I just feel like, you know, oh my gosh, like, why are we doing this? Like, this is so frustrating. But then the moments on stage make up for that. And it's like, you know, or you'll have a conversation with a friend that's like, you know, don't give up, or they'll give you a specific word or something that you need to hear in that moment of just like, you know, your gift means something to me, or this song or whatever.
Totally. I think if we just attach the purpose to it, and obviously the why, or however you want to word that, like that kind of answers itself. But in today's age, it is hard because there's so many things one could be doing for oneself.
Yeah.
It's hard to prioritize that. So when we kind of lose that prioritization in our communication, it kind of, you know, breaks down. We have to just sit back. Maybe I'll go rock climbing, or literally just unplug. So we can just kind of find that why again, and
brain,
Oh my God, and then the prioritization just comes naturally after that. So and we give ourselves permission to like just knock off some of that stuff. We're forming our team still, so it's, you know, in a lot of ways the pressure's off as long as the message is there and all that.
Exactly.
So.
I love you guys even more.
Jeez.
Thanks, Amy.
So, if fans could take one message away from your music, what do you hope that message is?
Probably hope in general.
Like hope and love. I mean, I feel like...
I think sometimes commitment is a uncool word in some circles.
Especially
I'm
in
not really sure
2018
why,
and in Nashville.
Sure.
That's
but
really
I
good.
mean,
We're talking to you, Nashville, the word commitment.
I mean, we sing these songs to each other every night, whether it's a sexy song or something else. But it's like it's healing for us, even if we don't feel like singing it. You know, something about singing it out, regardless of whether you feel like it or not. So it's like
I would definitely say like love and like commitment is like worth fighting for. Like
totally
pushing through and knowing who you are and standing firm in that, and also like just being a light wherever you are. You know, so.
You guys are ripping my heart out right now. So our last segment is WILD. It's WHYLD, which means what have you learned, dude? So in the writing, in the performing, in the production, in all aspects of the music industry, what's that core piece of advice that you want to pass along to some other independents?
Gosh, that's a hard one to answer in a small amount of time.
I know,
but,
right?
Yeah.
I kind of like I said earlier, there's so many things that we can be doing and we're learning, and hindsight will always, you know, tell us what we could have done better, should have done, but like we still try to not beat ourselves up about it, because we're still trying, as long as we're trying the best we can, and honoring each other by trying to, you know, commit to those ideas and put the work in. It's interesting because as an artist, no one's going to care about it, you know, maybe as much as you do, and it's a privilege to share that with someone else. So,
and I would say like just be true to yourself. Like don't try to do what sounds popular. I just read something, John Mayer, he had this like awesome post and about writing and just being true to who you are and not trying to go with what's popular, but like if it speaks to you, it's going to speak to somebody else. So I just feel like be true to yourself.
Yeah,
no
I
matter
think
what.
That's a common thing in the music industry. Is you're going to have 28,000 different people are pulling you 28,000 different ways.
Yeah.
But knowing like who you are at the core, like you can be groomed as to who you are at the core, but like to be molded into something completely different, like you have to know who you are.
Yeah, you got it.
Yep.
God, you guys are so good. I just want to keep you here the whole time. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, the Dries. And we are going to sync them up on social media and have you guys like follow them on everything. So stay in the know. Get on Volume 1 because Volume 2 is coming out very quickly. Thank you guys so much. Awesome. We're out, guys.
You know you